announce a historic arrest across a wide-sweeping criminal enterprise that envelops both the NBA and La Cosa Nostra. As you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today, former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing.
The FBI director, in fact, said, Leslie, that this is the insider trading saga for the NBA. Sports gambling investigation that they announced today, 6 defendants named, including Miami Heat's Terry Rozier and former Cavaliers player and assistant coach Damon Jones. They say between 2022 and 2024, illegal betting was happening, that these guys were involved in throwing the games or misusing insider information for gambling, and then profiting on games for the Hornets, the Lakers, the Trailblazers, and the Toronto Raptors. They gave specifics about Terry Rozier, who was playing for the Hornets at the time. He said he let a bunch of people know he would leave a game on March 23rd, 2023. Those people then wagered $200,000 on Rozier's under statistics. He left the game after 9 minutes. Prosecutors say those bettors profited tens of thousands of dollars, then went to Rozier's house to share the proceeds and count out the money. Prosecutors indicated this investigation was linked to the bust of Raptors player Jontay Porter, who, remember, he got banned from playing for the NBA for life and was convicted on felony charges. The second big investigation, Operation Royal Flush, involving Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups, player Terry Rozier again, and Damon Jones in an underground illegal poker ring. This involved several organized crime families associated with La Cosa Nostra. Basically, prosecutors allege the celebrity athletes were used to lure unsuspecting gamblers to these poker games where the mafia had modified card shuffling machines, barcoded the decks, had cameras built into the tables and light fixtures. The dealers were in on it. The athletes, they allege, made the games look legitimate. Prosecutors say one victim alone lost $1.8 million. But in total, this ring brought in tens of millions. And then when people refused to pay, prosecutors say the defendants did what organized crime always does: threaten violence. You've got 34 individuals here charged with a range of things: extortion, money laundering, wire fraud, bank fraud, illegal gambling. Rozier will be in federal court today in Orlando. There was a game against the Magic there last night. And Billups will have an appearance in federal court in Portland, Oregon. They had a game there against the Timberwolves last night. One more note, because as you know, I cover gambling. Kash Patel mentioned that the sports books were victims in this. You had the prosecutor for the Eastern District, the U.S. attorney, saying the sports books here are victims. They were not perpetrators in all of this. So just on the record about that.
So the NBA has this gambling investigation. They got Terry Rozier, Damon Jones used to play for the Cavs, and Chauncey Billups, which Damon Jones is the only one that got 1 foot in one and 1 foot in the other. So I like to read this stuff, but I just listened to it today. So the indictment is super long. Shams ain't even read the indictment. But check out the NBA Talk playlist, current news playlist. So basically, Terry Rozier been under investigation for a while now. I feel like at least a year. He was cleared, and then they said he wasn't cleared. Okay, so like I would say they would say he was clear, like maybe a few months ago. Then they came out and said he wasn't clear, so I just thought that was a false report. Sham said on ESPN that was true, that they had cleared him. And then he got put back in it. So the video is resurfacing of him with a lot of plays, looking like he purposely, threw the games. Okay. So basically he point shaving and rigging, right, on the NBA floor. So I feel like the fans who bet, who all know, and I get to that, right? Chauncey Billups, on the other hand, is more on the Gilbert Arenas thing. I'm not sure if it's the same case. So if you didn't know, Gilbert Arenas got arrested or indicted for, illegal poker games. So they rented out a house, they hired employees, and they had these illegal poker games. I believe it was in LA. So bet high stakes. So is he legal because the government can't get their hand in the pot? That's just what it means. The government can't get their hand in the pot. That's why it's illegal, right? Because if we talking about, let me get there. So Chauncey was in these poker games where people got to play next to NBA stars. I don't know if they're the same as Gilbert Arenas. And they said that these high stakes poker games was fixed so the people can lose. My thing is this: what's the difference of Vegas then? You go to Vegas and we all know the odds are tipped against you. We know the Vegas, they seem to have a connection to what's happening on the floor. This is allegedly, as far as refs and players. We know that. Now, the Gambino family is in it. Another family is in it as well, too. So, I mean, my whole thing is, like, it's just, as long as you got the United States on your side, that's the difference. That's the difference. If you got the United States on your side and all the corporations with them, whether it's the NBA, NFL, you're protected, right? As long as they get a piece of the pot, the USA, and as long as these corporations, the NBA and all them get a piece of the pot, that's all that matters. But if you got action going outside of that and y'all making good money outside of that, we got to shut that down because we don't get a piece of it. The NBA don't get a piece of it. The USA don't get a piece of it. And that's where they draw their morality line at. Their morality line is just that, hey, y'all didn't put us in on it, so we got to get you. So Damon Jones was given inside information. And then also, he was also a part of the poker game. So he was the only one, according to Shams, that had one foot in both of the cases. He was the only bridge, not Chauncey. So with the whole, the whole situation is, and this is how they continue to make black faces the face of criminality. Okay, Josh Giddey, they swept his case under the rug, which was more serious. You're fucking with a minor. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, you're messing with a minor. What's more than that? My thing is this: I don't give a fuck about this, dog, because we know Vegas got their own thing. The only thing that makes it legit is because y'all getting y'all money out of it, and y'all not getting the money out of what Chauncey and Damon Jones did. Now, the whole thing about Terry Rozier point shaving, that's unforgivable as a teammate, as a staff member, as a GM. It's unforgivable. You ever seen The Longest Yard, the remake or the original one with Burt Reynolds? I think he was in both of them. It's unforgivable. When you shave points and your brother next to you, he put all this work in the off season. He do all these things to dot his I's and cross his T's in the off season to get himself in condition. And your brother give everything he got on that quarter on that field, and you are working against the squad. That's basically like, hey man, we in tug of war and we pulling against the other team. But you really, like, you the last guy in the back. That's the anchor, but you really ain't anchoring nothing. So you putting us at a disadvantage. Terry Rozier should be ostracized. I'll be the first to say that. Your brother, as your fellow brother that you playing with, and you not giving 120%, and you ain't giving shit. You playing for the ops. And one may say, well, how did they get in this position? They make all this money. If you follow what I say all the time, you hear women say, oh, we make more money than men, or I make this much money. It's not, ultimately it's really not important if you don't know how to manage it. If you don't know how to manage the money, I tell y'all, when a lot of these people get money, they live here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody feel like if I make this, I make this, I got to live here. And the responsible adults understand that if I can live here, I can live here. Real talk. Only time that line should really creep up if your money really creep up. And really, if your money really creep up, like, you have to kind of move up because you can't really live in the ghetto. You can't live in the ghetto and have nice stuff. So sometimes you got to kind of continue to level up in those kind of situations. But only time you really need to level up, especially from a simpler part, is if you start to gain a family. If you got a family, then obviously, that. But then, really, you can have a family. You can make here. You can have a family when you were single or doing your thing, you live here. In reality, a lot of people still can live here. It's just that you cutting the fat off some of the things you like to do. Like, I might take 10 trips a year. Okay, now I got to take 5, because I got the family. Or I got 20 cars I drive. Now I probably got to sell most of those cars, downsize minivan, couple toys I got here. Now I may only have 5 or 7. So that's how you do it. A lot of people don't want to downsize their lifestyle and they end up hurting themselves. You know, that's just what it is. You know, but that's the only reason how. But a lot of these guys, they got 3 or 4 girls here. They go into the club spending $10,000. They paying this girl rent not to expose them. They dealing with this chick. That's why I say that's why I talk about that whole polyamorous thing or polygamy thing. All that is, especially if you got more than one wife, a girl that you take care of, is more money going out. It's more money going out, and it's more stress coming in. That's just what it is. It's more money coming out, more stress going in. That's the fact. That's what I'm telling y'all. It's a fact. You got more money coming out, more stress coming in. So when you dealing with this, you going here, going there. That's why you see when most guys slow down and they didn't partied all that and they don't have nothing to show for partying. You got a couple legendary nights, nothing really to show for it. Not a wife. You ain't go to the casino and hit the Mega Million jackpot. You don't have nothing to show for. You got a couple memories, but you got so much disappointment. You wake up like, damn, I spent that last night. Damn, I spent that last night. And you understand how that shit get old, but they overhead is ridiculous, bro. Travis Kelce said when he was on his rookie deal, he was running from the landlord until week 1 where he could play his fucking rent. This is a guy that's in the NFL. He minimum was making $500-600K on the 3rd, 4th round contract. Come on. You got taxes, and then everybody, like, real talk, they don't know how to manage their money. Think about it. They delegate they paying their bill responsibility. Who taught them how to pay bills? Who taught them about taxes? They delegate that to the accountant. The accountant picking off their money. They spending recklessly. Oh, I like that. They have no discipline, bro. It's like when you first start working as a teenager and you finally get your check, you go buy the shit you want. But you don't have the responsibility of bills or the water getting cut off. They have responsibilities. It's just like if if something happened, we had to ration our supplies. And you just run through them and we got 30 more days to ration and you ran through them in a week. We fucked. So people don't know how to ration, and that's why they got to get extra money. All that money going out, let's say a dude make $1 million a season after taxes. He gonna spend that $1 million. He ain't gonna say, I'm gonna put a quarter up just in case. And believe it or not, you should have, cash you should have cash. Just in case something happened, you should probably have, I have $1 million. Okay, I might put 100 in the bank. Now I might put 150 just in case something happened. I might have a situation where I got a dip, you know what I'm saying? And I just got that 150. Then do I really need a 10-room mansion? No, I probably get a little condo, little apartment. I'm chilling. Do I need 3, 4, 5 cars, especially if I live in New York City? No. That's when people say, oh, you can't live off 80K and most. Yes, you can easily. Even if you got kids, you can. It's just that people, they put what they want over their needs. They put their wants above their needs, and that becomes a big problem. Oh, I gotta buy these shoes. I gotta buy this. I gotta get this TV. I gotta get this game. I gotta get this car. And they make a lot of bad financial decisions. And we all make bad ones. Even the most responsible people with their money, we all make decisions. Instead of cooking, you out to eat every day. You know what I'm saying? You paid off a card. First thing you go do is go get another one. You know what I'm saying? So we all make bad decisions. Everybody on a small scale, on a large scale. And y'all like, hey, they got all this money. Just think about some of y'all got to get nice paychecks and get a lump sum of money, a bonus here and there, whatever. This shit be gone. Because people are irresponsible. The first thing you should be trying to do is, how can I make some of this money make more money? Or let me put this up. First thing you should be doing. But, unfortunately, oh, do you need the money? And like you make it like y'all be thinking out like that. Even after taxes with all that money, bro, like these niggas got 3 or 4 families on the side sometimes. They reckless spenders. Don't be married and your wife just constantly spending. You got to put limits on people, bro. People think because they got it, they got to spend. That's a teenager mentality. You got to have a plan. Even if you as a single man or you hope to get married, you hope to have a wife, whatever you into, you have to budget every month. I budget Or I'm gonna do this. Y'all might just pay this, do this, do that, do that. No, you got a budget. That's a fact. You have to budget your means. You have to portion your means, and most people don't budget. Most people got enough money to get by and they still don't budget. Just enough. Got a budget. So I feel like there are other things that they should be investigating. You know what I'm saying? Like real crime, kids being kidnapped, all these immigrants and they committing crimes and all that. But hey, it is what it is. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out the current news playlist, NBA Talk playlist. Hit the link tree, join the Patreon. Find me everywhere. Facebook, Kick, Instagram, the whole 9 piece.